Hey, this is Ladi6 from New Zealand, and you're watching Backspin TV. I'm hurting you, actually. I see you, you see me, and I know that you are down. I wanna pick you up from where I see ya, lying on the ground. Trust in me, I'll take your broken heart home to fix. Kiss you gently on the lips, whisper my promises. Automatic didn't really start out with a concept as such, but the overall theme, I think, is of love and hope and faith in yourself and your own abilities, which I think comes across in most of the songs. And in terms of musically, I think we were just trying to make a more stylistically a more cohesive record where every song fit with the next song, and I think it worked. I think we did a good job. I find most of my inspiration from the experiences that I have and the people that I meet and people that I know and love, and also just experiences that I have. It could be a conversation that I eavesdrop into that I draw inspiration from for something. It's always from my perspective though, and that's where I get most of my inspiration. Well, on Automatic we collaborated the production with Parks, who is a part of Ladi6, and also Wajid, which is a friend of ours now from Detroit. He's an amazing producer that we were just a huge fan of, and asked him, and he so kindly contributed to the record, and we went over to Detroit and worked with him. Featured artists on certain songs. We've got an amazing MC from Detroit called Invincible. It was just a total surprise to me that she actually guested on one of the songs. I had no idea that Wajid and Invincible are actually tight, like brother and sister, and she was at the studio quite a lot, just hanging out, and she really made Slow Ride the song that it is. Really, it wouldn't be the song that it is without her contribution, and it was one of those moments in the studio where you're actually sort of starstruck, but just flabbergasted. Like, there's no words to say when she shouted out to Christchurch and Motown. Those two places have never been in the same sentence in a rap song, I think, ever before, and it was one of those very special moments to me. Also, I've got my cousin Scribe, who's from New Zealand also, and my cousin Tyra Hammond, who feature with Parks on vocals on a song called Ready to Fly, and it's probably one of my favourite songs from the record. We also have a guy called Ladi6 who does some vocals on some backing vocals on one of the songs, and he's an incredible singer and an incredible artist. And I think that's everybody. I was really lucky to have this opportunity to go to Detroit and spend time there, but also to go to this small farm in Waiuku in New Zealand, a studio called Revolver, and that was another, actually half the record was recorded and written there, and it was a very special time. We got to sleep in the studio and write the songs there and record them there, which is a very unique experience, I think, especially for the kind of music that we make. And most of the songs, and I don't know if many people know this, but bar like Icarus and Shine On, the rest of the songs were spontaneously, organically made in the studio. There was no writing them beforehand. It was all made right there and then, so it was, because of that, it was particularly a special time making Automatic. What can they expect? I think they can expect a more smooth record, something where I feel like there was one vision, and you can hear the consistency through the record, I think, more so than our past records. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, there's so many amazing memories for me. I suppose one of them would have to be when we got off our first flight from New Zealand to Detroit, and we went to the hotel room, and Wajid was like chomping at the bit to show us around his neighbourhood. Like, he wanted us to get in the car and go straight there and then, but it's a long flight from New Zealand to Detroit, so we were like, oh, we're going to take like a couple of hours and have a rest. He picked us up in a couple of hours after that, and we just went on this really big long ride around his neighbourhood, and he just spent the time pointing out where he used to live, where Amp Fiddler lived, where the first party he played at, all the people, like where Dilla lived, where all the people that were close to him lived, and the proximity to his high school, because his high school is very important, plays an important role in terms of who he was hanging out with and what they were doing at that time. And it felt really special. We were really lucky. It's still really ghetto as well. We tried to get out of the car at one point. He was like, stay in the car. Don't leave the car. It's still dangerous around here. And it will always stand out as one of those moments that I think is special to working with Wajid and being in his neighbourhood, and I don't think we would get that at any other with any other artist or at any other time. We were just really lucky, and yeah. It's actually a weed smoking song. It's not the message that makes it special for me. It's not particularly the message. Sorry, I've got a cold. What makes it special is more the feeling and the vibe of the song. And having, obviously, the family all on the song together, that's always a special thing for me. Yeah, and I did want a weed smoking song, I'm sorry, but I did. And I'm glad that I got mine. So when you hear that song, blaze a joint and think of me. All right. I mean, the record's like all the other Ladi6 records. It's eclectic in its taste. I think Diamonds is exact opposite of Ready to Fly. Musically and subject matter wise, it's about poverty, basically. It's kind of piss take, or just a piss take. What's another word for a piss take? Sort of like it's about a serious topic, but we're trying to treat it lightly by sort of making it a sort of pop song, I suppose. And I think it's, in contrast to Ready to Fly, it's just completely different. I don't know. I think I will go with something like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. For me, and for a lot of girls like me, it was the first time that I ever heard a female rapper and singer totally kill an album and make a complete record from start to finish. Every song was good, the interludes were great, the whole thing was good, but also the messages that she was saying was something that I don't think was being said by females in hip-hop before her consistently like that. And it was totally life-changing for a girl like me that was rapping as well and could sing and stuff. She was our total idol, I suppose. And before that, there really wasn't anyone like her. I mean, even started with her being in Sister Act 2, you know. I remember when she was in Sister Act 2 before she was Lauryn Hill. And I remember thinking, wow, this girl's amazing. And it completely changed the way I thought I could do music, you know. And I think it made me think that, I mean, there were other people like Salt and Pepper and stuff, they were talking about other things. Lauryn Hill was kind of like on this conscious tip, as well as being sort of like a gangster. She was like your all-in-one, what we wanted and what we needed to hear at the time, I think. It's funny how money changes situation. Miscommunication leads to complication. My emancipation don't fit your equation. I was on the humble, you on every... Like, I could go on and on. Like, but that whole verse was like mind-blowing at the time for me as a teenager. This was like... She was like sort of like a god of sorts, you know. It was like she's talking about real shit that women want to hear, that we needed to know. Before that, it was very like, I think, overly sexed up hip-hop for girls, you know. She was saying like how she was hurt, and just stories of people ripping her off, and it was stuff that people weren't saying and women weren't saying in raps, and I thought it was very empowering. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. Every song she's got something that I could quote, so I probably shouldn't. When that record came out, my sister, who's like a year and a half older than me, she was the one that was bringing hip-hop into the house. She introduced me to like Wu-Tang and Lost Boys, and she brought Miseducation of Lauryn Hill into the house. And I was like listening to all sorts of other crazy music. And I'm like one of 6 brothers and sisters, and it completely changed the household, this record. We were all listening to it. This is there's like a summer where this was just the record that we all listened to while cleaning the house, while barbecuing outside, you know. And yeah, I mean, because of that record, you know, music always makes you remember a time and a place and an age that you were in and the experiences that you had, and it's definitely one of those records for me. New Zealand. Sorry. It's home. You're always going to pick your home, I think, unless you really had an awful childhood and hated it so much, but I didn't. I had a wonderful childhood. I love New Zealand. Germany would be second to any other place, though. Berlin, particularly. Sorry, Hamburg. Summer. I'm brown. I think we need the sun more. I actually think this is scientifically proven. Vinyl, of course. Because... Why? Because it's cooler, and because it takes time to collect, and because it's... a lot of music you can't get on MP3s that you can get on vinyl, and because of a lot of reasons. Sneakers. I mean, I'm wearing sneakers, but high heels make a girl's leg look good too. I can't deny it. So, sneakers, but high heels sometimes too. I don't know. That's hard. Festival, I suppose, because you get looked after, you know. And so a solo concert, there's more riding on you as an artist to pull the whole thing off. With the festival, you can just kind of like relax more, probably get a little bit more drunk than you would normally for your own solo concert. Festival. Studio mix. I've never done an unplugged gig before, I don't think. Gourmet all the way. Cinema. I don't even have a TV at home, so cinema. I love going to the cinema. I'm addicted to movies. It's probably, it goes music and then movies for me in terms of things that I am passionate about. When I was younger, I got into all elements of hip-hop, including tagging. And I had this tag, it was really ugly. I was called Sneak One. And I tagged it on this post box in my neighborhood, and it stayed on that post box for like 6 years, and it was so ugly. Every day I had to walk past it. It was the most embarrassing thing in my life. So now I'm just gonna like write Ladi6. Very boring. I'm not an artist like at all, so Julian, the drummer in my band, he's like a proper artist. I'm just a tryhard. I think that's how you do it. Yeah. Ta-da! Be kind to each other. It's a cruel world. I was Ladi6, and you were with me watching Backspin TV. Peace. See you later.